Hey, here back today with another replay of my own. Me on the Empire versus the Warriors of Chaos, and I'll start covering the Warriors of Chaos build. I apologize if I sneeze into the macro. I try to prevent it, but I'm a bit... something got me today. We have Horsemen, throwing axes, nothing special. A Slaanesh caster, you see them a lot recently too, with Pavane, because the Rampage is just so good in taking out skirmishers and get missiles into bad positions, and also just the damage is really good. And Acquisitions to win some fights, more high value fights. Then we have some Chaos Trolls, funnily on Silver Chevrons. I don't know how much that costs. It must have been really awkward spend on the other side to do this. If it wasn't in a tournament setting, probably the player would have optimized it a bit away. Several Marauders with great weapons here. I'm not super sure why great weapons. I guess just for the increased charge bonus and melee attack to break through the State Trooper lines quickly and get in the juicy missiles, but they also have no shields. So, I don't know. We will see. Valkyr the Bloody with the shield if she gets trapped, and Slopnir. Then 2 marks were spent on Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh with Hell Scourges. Incredibly tanky bastards. There really isn't a lot that can deal with them. Silver Shield, heavy armor, melee defense, through the roof. And then last hidden Chaos Warhound in the Vanguard zone. On the side for the Empire, I have a Marcus Wolfhard with the net. Nothing special here. 6 State Troopers, 4 Spears, and 2 Swordsmen. Spears always shields just to get the increased melee defense. And then 2 Huntsmen. They are good to keep skirmishers away, mainly. But also have, and to several staff, a good damage. Quick damage, a bit quicker damage than those wagons can do. Yeah, wagons, of course, against all the large stuff that the Chaos can bring, or some, if Archaon or something gets too cocky and punishes into my line, then can kite him down and punish him. Shadow Wizard, the usual duo of Melkath and Pit of Shades, and the Royal Altdorf Griffites. Demi-Griff Halberds. They have Terror. I didn't have anything else with Terror here, and I wanted something anti-large armor-piercing fighter to deal with Chaos Knights mainly, because you really have a limited range of options of things what can take them down, despite super heavy firepower. But if you go this route, you can get a big problem against just mass infantry. And yeah, the strategies are fairly obvious for both sides. I don't think there's much to tell. Empire plan is to box around here, control both points, and force the other side to come into you. And yeah, Chaos does Chaos stuffs and goes for an infantry overload on the round. That's my judgment from which tactics here are employed. As a general, of course, some sneaky stuff. And I apologize. And yeah, I let the game running. Tell me if I talk too much in the beginning and try to, or if I should more leave things running early. Maybe so that the early posturing and movement phases aren't then a bit idle afterwards. So yeah, Empire slowly pushing forwards to maintain the formation, uh, adapting a bit, positioning to what I see here. I was a bit surprised by Valkyria, um, though I maybe shouldn't have been because she is a really good pick here. Um, Often you see things like Archeon or something, just world beaters. It absolutely can crash into your lines and uh, drag down your state troopers with burning heads and something. Oh, I didn't cover the greatswords. I also brought a greatsword unit. And here the other side summon is first more armored chaos turrets and Sterlin's Revenge from my side. They are my counter pick to the Chaos Trolls. The Chaos Trolls, if they're supported by infantry, will absolutely crash even into spears. Oh, those are normal ones. Maybe they not so much. Even they, but the armored one especially, they don't really care about spears. But they stick out so much out of your formation that you can shoot with handguns into a melee without having to flank. And so yeah, I want the handguns to take out the armored trolls, of which we see more and more. The Chaos player is maybe a bit hasty with coming here. He is still reinforcing its army, capturing this point and not having that, but already taking fire from my side. So yeah, here we have Hell Scourgers moving on, but they're getting some armor-piercing missiles. They do actually hurt them. And Huntsmen are a bit too expensive to usually shoot into shielded chaff units, but those are great weapons, which are more expensive, and also don't have shields, of course. Here, Valkyria got a net. I'm not sure, it might have been a bit wasted. I wanted to shoot her, but I need to clear this unit. Here, switching out the spear front line to the greatswords to get them into those. I summoned an Empire Knight, but it got rampaged into a weird position. I wanted to charge something and reinforce the line, but now they're stuck and get thrown by what's it called? Egg throwers. Great weapons are good against them in standing combat, and so are trolls, and the whole thing was a catastrophe for the knights. 200 value. Well, that's something. Could have been worse, but now I'm under the threat here that my flank completely breaks, and I need to do something about it. So I yeeted the out of Griffiths into them in the hope of getting some terror routes to stabilize the Franks, even if such a chaotically messy fight is really good of them. Some trolls force through, but I have a knight to hold them in place, spears to poke them, and several guns and huntsmen to take them out, so they take a lot of damage and get the leader shock route. Trolls don't have good leadership. So I stabilized this side and now I have a lot of idle units here, but almost lost my other flank completely in return. The graphites, yeah, costing, what's it, 1800 and only bring 650 to the table is really not good. But I didn't have anything else at this moment that could stall the front line so long. I had hoped they do better though. Now as the trolls rerouting, things are getting a bit disorganized. Here I used a net and then a miasma, bonkers, overcast Pit of Shades on those 2 units to finish them off, which was a really nice grab. And this here is a bit of a misplay of my opponent. He has his caster stuck in halberds. The thing is armored, so he can do that with spears without being super afraid of them, but not with halberds. Here, state troopers break, but I have the next one. I have a lot on reinforcement and summon them to reinforce the lines. Great swords doing their job of chopping through the armor. And the first life of the Marauder Horseman ends on not that much value. This one got quite a bit of fire from the Huntsman, I would suspect. The other one couldn't really pick targets and shot into a very spread out melee brawl. And here I'm doing unnecessary things again and almost losing my next demis straight away. Don't know what did the most of the damage here. Guess just the great weapons. Or, well, 5 units. Everyone had a bit of a chip damage. Valkyr is a Terra, and used both of Slaupnir's? Yes, no more uses. She spared my greatswords a bit of that, otherwise, what's they doing? They shouldn't be doing this. They wouldn't have won against the Chaos Warriors if they got a Spear Slaupnir. Instead, the Sterlin's Revenge got it and lost a fair bit of models, but it's still alive and kicking. Now I net her down and shoot her, and Marcus Wolfhard, my great sniper hero, misses about everything, I think, against her. Oh no, he hit, but she has a shield active and damage immune. I can understand that. So, I have really stabilized here and pushed the important chaos units way back, and now the trolls came back from routing or something and healed, and now stand unsupported by the first infantry wave, which are just in some scraps hanging around. Things like this should be unsummoned. I'm not quick with this in this scenario right now. But Chaos held the point here all the time, and I don't have super long to take it, otherwise I could get in triple cap territory, but yeah, as you see, I am working on it. Chaos is a bit bare bones. Valkyr shouldn't sit in greatswords. That's the one unit here that can really take her down in melee efficiently. But yeah, she also doesn't have so much mass that she can instantly and easily escape, but with a moment of trying and click spamming, she does. So, now, usually if you play Empire and notice at some point that you have the space to really reform your ranks into a front line and a back line again, and it's not utter chaos and everything mixed and just held together by mobility, then you're in a very good position. So yeah, I can form a nice line here. It's not a nice line, it's a bit crooked, but you get the point. I could have unsummoned those dummies and resummoned them to, well, use them. Right now they aren't useful as fighters, but they still have their terror, and the terror works regardless of how real of a threat this unit is. My knights are currently mostly out of order, so I'm getting a bit overwhelmed by the mobility here. Nice surround from hounds. But my greatswords are coming to clear. The other greatswords, they aren't good against trolls, so they're gonna fall here, but they paid themselves in Forsaken. That's one of the best units they could wish to fight against. Another Pit of Shades, and with that I think the mana of the caster is out. Now you can make decisions whether you want to unsummon the caster lord or use it as capture weight and just a distraction piece, like sending it into those Marauder Horsemen to just zone them or do damage if they ignore it. But I don't think I need it here anymore. And Chaos is still ahead in points, so if they were in a bit better position, they might be able to take it back, but currently they can't really form a coordinated attack anymore. And here Valkyria's about dying, I think. She is certainly dying, but I'm not sure if she sees it through the end. Oh, the caster got resummoned. Yeah, he died while still having a lot of wins, so not that surprising. Can be a good choice, but still in a phase where you need a lot of width in your build to form a coordinated attack against your enemy. Though you often run also into the position where you just don't have a real choice. And because there's nothing useful in reinforcement pool, so the best thing you might do is take the caster. And yeah, by now I'm really catching up in points, and with this the chaos gets a lot more desperate. Some attempts here to get into those huntsmen, you can just use the marauders horsemen to do also good charges. Still 24 charge bonus and just some math, but demis are on Overwatch, so not a lot gonna happen here. And yeah, if you have a lot of stage troopers in the early and some in reinforcement, you can go and cycle them through a lot, and especially in the end then if the other side tries to outmobility you can just push more and more spears forward that provide capture weight and aren't easily crushed. At least not from mediocre or not top tier mobility pieces. Like Chaos Knights run over state troopers without a question. Yeah, wagons. I'm not sure if I summoned both twice. This one I think I summoned twice. The value isn't that great, but they are the tool to deal with things that your infantry can't really deal so well with. Namely trolls, because monstrous infantry usually cracks them hard. yeah, you see, all those values aren't really good since they never got into fair fights. Even the borderline OP Hellscourge Chaos Warriors, they got pitted into greatswords and armor-piercing missiles. Valkyria was kinda holding it together for a longer time here. My demis didn't have enviable jobs. In the end, 950 values for how I had to use them was acceptable. The other ones I abused even a bit more. Sterling's Revenge, I always like this unit. This is on a single life, I think. So, yep. A lot of this is inflated because they got good chances to shoot at Valkyrie, but also just the trolls and everything. I love them, they're a super good unit. Great swords, did great. Huntsman 2, I'm not sure, I think somewhat. This one was double summoned, I think. But the other not, so yeah, this is also a bit unexpected. You usually expect shields against chaos, so they have a more limited target range to skirmishers and trolls. But yeah. And that's about how much I can analyze here. So I end it. See you next.